What's up guys, Cody Dean here. In this video, I'm going to show you how to recruit 10 people in 10 days. So let's jump into it. All right, let me pick you up, bring you over to my whiteboard. All right, we're situated. All right, let's get into it. If you want to recruit anyone, or specifically 10 people in 10 days, it comes down to breaking down the math. So let's break down the math. The first thing you need to do is called cost to acquire. This means how much does it cost you to go out and get a recruit. So you want 10 people. We're just trying to figure out how much one person is, because if we can figure out how much it costs you to acquire one person, we just times it by 10 and that will get you whatever it is, the cost, the total cost. Like Brian Tracy says, you find out what it costs to do something, and then you go and pay that price. Now, with most people in network marketing, they are charging, or their cost is their time. So if you spend 8 hours a day messaging people, and you message 20 people or 30 people, and then you follow up with those people and you send them some videos and whatever it is, okay? Through this entire process, if you can get one person, and maybe it takes you 8 hours of work, your cost to acquire a person is 8 hours. There you go. Now all you have to do is times that by 10. So you want 10 people times 8 hours to acquire one person. That's 80 hours. Now most people, 80 hours is like 2 weeks of work. So if you were to go work for 80 hours or for 2 weeks, 40 hours a week, that'd be 80 hours, okay? Now let's say you make $10 an hour. $10 times 80 is 800 bucks. So I want you to start thinking of, rather than spending your time to acquire a customer, I want to start shifting your perspective of using money to acquire a customer. So it basically costs you $800 to acquire 10 customers, right? The way to think of it. So instead of thinking of your time, think of how much will it cost you to acquire one customer with money. And if you could do more, just change the numbers. But with your money, maybe you can put out an advertisement, $10 a day. And I want you to think like, hey, if it costs you 8 hours to recruit someone, is there some time, or is there something you could be doing better with your 8 hours? Like if I go and I do something for a client and I charge only 80, per hour, I can charge $100 an hour, I can make 800 bucks. So is it more profitable for me to spend my time cold messaging people, or going and doing work that I can make money and then spend that money into advertising, which then does the prospecting for me, okay? $10 a day, or maybe I spend, so $10 a day times 5 days, that's 50 bucks. And maybe out of those 50 bucks, I get 5 leads and 1 recruit. Potentially these leads, they've shown interest, so I know that they will join a network marketing team in the future. So it's $10 a lead. So if I spend $10 a day and I get one person reaching out to me, I basically freed up my time there, and the cost to acquire that customer was 10 bucks. Well, it'd be like 50 bucks. Now the whole goal of doing this is just to figure out, okay, so if I want 10 people, you just do the math, okay? So if and you just start off small, especially with advertising, you just start off small and you're like, hey, let's test something, see if it works. Okay, I got a lead, let's call the lead. Boom, they sign up, boom, you got a recruit. Out of the 5, if you're okay, you should get 20 or 30% to close, okay? So that's 20% right there, 1 out of 5. But then you can just say, okay, instead of spending $10 a day, now if I do 50, I'm gonna get 5 leads, $10 per lead. I close 1 out of 5. That will allow me to get 1 person per day. So then that will get you the 10 recruits in 10 days. And the nice thing is, you didn't have to talk to friends and family. You didn't have to spam a lot of people, cold message people, have those awkward conversations about soccer or some kind of hobby, just to be like, well, since you asked what I do for work, can I show you a video about it? And they'll be like, no. But rather, if you can do an advertisement, run it to a funnel, and then have them apply, fill out some information, then you can reach out to those people, and you're actually spending your time calling and closing people down. And also, I'd rather spend 1 hour a day calling 5 leads that have requested me call them than spend 8 hours a day cold messaging strangers and getting rejected all day. I mean, this way you'll talk to maybe 30, 40 people. You'll get rejected 25, 30 times. This way you only get rejected 3 or 4 times. And if they're like, hey, why are you messaging me? You're like, no, you fill out this info. You asked me to call you. You asked me to text you. You asked me to whatever. So I want you to get an idea, and this is what I teach about here. If you like this kind of info, let me know what you would like more on. If you have questions, hit subscribe if this is something that would interest you to learn more about how to acquire more customers. Again, it just comes down to figuring out how much it costs one person and then times it by 10. You can do it every single day for 10 days. You could do this infinite amount of times. And the beauty is once you get big enough, you've got enough people that you've recruited, then you can say, hey, you know what? I've recruited my 5, 10, 15 people. I'm just gonna round robin them. Hey, every 10 days, I'm gonna feed you a lead. I'm gonna feed you 5 leads a day, and you can call and close them. And you can start giving it to your downline if that's something that you wanna do, okay? Hopefully this helps you guys out. If you have any questions, reach out. Make sure you hit thumbs up and subscribe. You guys are awesome. Go out, be great, and create your freedom.